guys, what's up? It's Karl here, back with another episode. Hope everyone's staying healthy and safe. We've had the new 16-inch MacBook Pro in the studio for the past almost 2 weeks now. This is the one with the Radeon Pro 5600M, and on Apple's website, they don't even label it as a new model. We only got a GPU refresh. But more importantly, the huge announcement from WWDC last week, Apple is transitioning away from Intel, moving over to its own Apple Silicon. And I wanted to chat about, because I got this question so many times, social, YouTube, every single place. When is the perfect time to buy a Mac? Whether that's a MacBook Air, a MacBook Pro, an iMac, or heck, even a Mac Pro, should you grab an Intel-based Apple computer or should you wait for Apple Silicon? And that's the tough question, because I get it. No one wants to buy outdated tech, and we got that definitive answer from Apple. We will still be supporting Intel-based computers, at least for the next couple years as we go through that transition. Tim Cook himself said we'll still be getting unannounced Intel-based Apple computers probably in our next refresh cycle. And I personally don't think we'll see an Apple Silicon-based Mac until earliest time, the end of 2020, probably even early 2021. With everything happening in the world right now, there's no way Apple will jump the gun and release something early. We saw though on one of their tester kits on a $20,000, maybe even $30,000 Mac Pro, it was running the same internals, the A12Z Bionic chip found in an iPad Pro. And I'd be pretty bummed out if the next Mac Pro came with the same chipset found in a $1,000 tablet. Yeah, the performance might be decent, but the value just doesn't seem to be there. And don't get me wrong, it's got great specs, crushes the benchmarks, easily the best tablet that you can buy on the market, but I still think Apple needs to come out with something new, something different for Apple Silicon. Whether that's the A13X, A13Z, or a completely new naming mechanism for their Mac-based silicone, that remains to be kind of seen. Your guess is probably as good as mine, so leave your future predictions down below, and if you win, you get your online virtual brownie points for the year. So congrats to you in the future. So with that in mind, is it a bad time right now to grab an Intel-based MacBook? So for example, this 16-inch MacBook Pro that just got a brand new refresh, would you be an idiot to buy one right now? My honest opinion, probably not. It's still an awesome computer, and it will be for the next 4 to 5 years. I typically refresh my own personal MacBooks along that 5-year mark. And in the world of tech, it's literally impossible to stay on top of the refresh game unless you've just got oodles of money in the pocket. New laptops, new computers, new smartphones are coming out every couple months. And in my opinion, the biggest shame is waiting a year, possibly even 2, because a lot of people like to skip the first gen refresh. That's a long time that you're waiting without a new piece of tech. Think what you can do in that amount of time. You could start your very own YouTube channel, have 100,000 subscribers by the time you wait for that new product to come out. And I'll use the MacBook line as a great example. If you have a device with the new updated Magic Keyboard, they've moved away from the butterfly switches, I don't think you need an upgrade. You can hold off until then. Maybe anything older than that, you could definitely consider still buying a new MacBook, MacBook Air, MacBook Pro without having any remorse or any doubt. And we'll take my 15-inch MacBook Pro as a prime example. You can see icons, folders, everything is littered on my desktop. I have no sense of file management. This is close to 2 years old right now, but it still handles everything that I throw on my channel at it totally fine. The thing that actually gives out the most, surprisingly, maybe not so, is the keyboard. It has gotten stuck maybe 3 to 4 times. I've had to take it to the Apple Store that many times just to get it fixed. If this whole YouTube thing wasn't my main gig, if I wasn't lucky enough to receive computers from Apple, I would definitely be happy and stay on that device. Of course, the new 16-inch MacBook Pro, absolute beast, and as it should. I think this model is spec'd for around $5,500, $6,000. I still wouldn't recommend getting the Radeon Pro 5600M, even though this video was edited on this device. Yes, it's buttery smooth, but do I notice that big of a difference from a normal 16-inch? With a 5500M? Definitely not. Obviously, the benchmarks kind of show how powerful this device is, but in real world use, I honestly don't think it's worth that. And right now, this is the best MacBook that money can buy, and say if tomorrow, for whatever reason, Apple decided to stick the A12Z Bionic into a new line of MacBooks, they'd probably perform very closely. And I'm sure that will be the same for the next gen MacBook Pro. The only thing that you can't really quantify is, of course, that time factor. How important or how valuable is time for you? Can you afford to wait a year, possibly a year and a half, for that potential new refresh that won't be that much better if you buy a device right now? I think you get what I'm trying to say. This video probably could have been wrapped up in 30 seconds. If you've got a device 4 to 5 years old, feel no remorse. If you've grabbed a new machine in the last year to two, yeah, it's probably worth waiting for. Let me know down below though if I'm completely off my rocker, or are people waiting out for the next Apple silicone MacBooks to launch. Remember to leave your guesses on what you think the chipsets will be called. I am going with, I think they're going with a different letter, probably M for Mac. Would it be M1 or would they switch to M15, M13? M13, good gun in Call of Duty. I'm going with that as my guess, and if you're here for the MacBook Pro review, obviously the best device money can buy right now. Maybe the only thing I have to say is, why have I been shying away from silver? I kind of love this way more than any of the space gray stuff. Catch you guys in one of my next vids or vlogs. Peace.